Would you speak to us about your role as a doula? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
So what does a doula do? Why is that role necessary?
Well, I've been a doula for about 11 or 12 years now, and back then I think it was probably when there was this shift in, far more hospital births and women sort of either laboring on their own or with their male birth partners for whom childbirth, is unfamiliar territory as well. So the idea with a doula is basically just a non-medical support person who's just has experience with all sorts of childbirth situations, but it's someone that the couple has chosen, built a relationship with through the pregnancy, that is a constant source of companionship, information, suggestions for questions to ask, comfort measures, massage, that sort of thing, all through the labor. We don't, if your labor starts and you call me, I come and I stay until and after the baby is born. I don't finish up in 12 hours. So yeah, I have been at births like for 3 days straight if need be, but it is really support for the mother and the father. It really, I find that dads themselves feel more helpful if a doula is around, because often people ask, well, won't that interfere with the father's role? I've chosen the father as the birth support, but in actual fact it makes them feel more confident in being a support person. Yeah,
It's almost a combination of a sister and a cheerleader
it's
for
exactly
the mother.
that. Yeah. I mean, they've done studies across the world, and there was quite a significant study in South Africa on doula support, and what they found is that the doula-dad combination makes a huge difference to birth outcomes, postnatal outcomes, newborn care. Yeah.
Won't you speak to us about the role of a father when it comes to birth? Often you see the pictures in the hospital of the dad in scrubs standing to the one side with the camera. Obviously that's not the case when you're giving birth at home. What is the role of the father or the partner when it comes to home birthing?
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, because you have at the moment there definitely is this expectation for fathers to be present at the birth of his children, and some men are still not comfortable in that role. It's very hard for them to stand by and watch their partners in pain, if you will. But in the home, the father can go down to the garage and tinker on his car if he's feeling a bit overwhelmed, and come back in and not feel like he's abandoning his partner, because the midwife is there, and if the mother's chosen a doula, he knows that she's supported, and he can come in and be loving and be strong, and hold in certain positions. But as the midwife and the doula, we do discuss this with the mothers, that some dads are not necessarily suited to being the constant source of companionship and support and encouragement, because it's their experience too. And so oftentimes as a doula, I'm the one holding the camera, because I also want to capture the dad's emotions on the day, and it is overwhelming. Or just giving him a break to go get himself a sandwich, go to the loo, things like that. Yeah.